Do we just start, or
Yeah,
do
yeah.
you have like a
No, no,
countdown?
no. Go ahead.
You are the countdown, Seth.
Yeah, you are the countdown.
Ah, so much pressure. Okay. Welcome back to Ignorant Experts, episode 11. My name is Seth, and Frick.
We're
Am
keeping
I
it.
supposed
It's
to?
great.
Perfect
Okay.
intro.
Wait,
That's-
are we keeping
My name is Seth and dang.
And
I was
oh
gonna say-
frick.
And Frick, they've tricked me back into being in the podcast.
They did.
Welcome back. How's everybody doing?
Good to be back.
Good one.
You know,
It's
another beautiful
cold
day in
here.
paradise.
Yeah,
It's like
really.
86 degrees here in Hawaii, and great.
And the rest of us are in the south of the United States, where it's currently really cold and freezing. So
At least it's
Yeah.
Friday.
at least
At
it's
least
Friday.
it's Friday.
It's supposed to
on
not go away
I
until
see.
like next week. Actually, it's supposed
Yeah,
to
I
like,
think we're
snow
supposed-
again on Sunday or something.
Which
Monday.
normally
So
they're
Monday.
full of it whenever they say we get snow, but turns out they were correct.
Well, they're calling for like 8
Ice.
inches or something.
No.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, it'll be icy, and then the roads will freeze, and no one will understand how to drive. So that's a thing.
So nothing different.
And then we can have one of those crashes like in Texas.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually unfamiliar with that. Care to elaborate?
Oh, it was a car crash involving something of in the neighborhood of 130 cars and 5 dead
Oh.
people.
Epic.
Oh.
Wait, what?
It's a big.
Yeah, in
It's a
in
big-
Fort Worth, there
big-
was a huge like crash. I mean, like apparently it was just on
Can you
the
turn
other
him
side
down a
of
little
the
bit,
hill,
Ryan?
and there was ice on top of the hill. So they were on the other side, ice on top of the hill, and so like people were just coming over the hill and like not being able to stop. There is video of an 18-wheeler like crumpling 3 cars legit like a Coke can, like just like
Oh, I saw
right
that.
into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really
Ooh.
tragic.
Wow.
No, it's pretty awful for the people, but for those of us who like mass destruction, kind of exciting.
Yeah, until you realize there were probably people in those cars.
No, there were. That was my first reaction. I was like, those people are dead.
You know, to be fair though,
That's you
if
said, right?
if you had to go out that way, I bet it's pretty quick. If you're like that last car, or like if you're the first car that gets
Yeah.
crumpled, you're probably out pretty fast.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
I mean, I would hope so. Otherwise, that sounds like a miserable last however long.
Yeah, well, it seems like most people were smart enough to be getting out of their cars and like not being in them, but
Yeah.
some people did die. So
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about Valentine's Day, but Fuzz and Blaze are the only ones here with girlfriends, and the rest of Seth has a wife. Never mind. Only Zach and I are going to be lonely on Valentine's Day. I'll be with you, Zach. I'll be your
You'll be with
Valentine.
me in spirit.
I'll be your
but
Valentine. I'll be your
We
Valentine
live
Day.
4,500 miles from each other.
I'll be thinking of you. Who wants to go first for the segments? Fuzz or Blaze?
me,
Fuzz
Dang it.
first. 1 or 2, Fuzz.
one.
One's better. All right, Fuzz. You are an expert on being a rental boyfriend for the next 5 minutes.
Oh,
Go ahead.
well,
Well, Fuzz. So, how did you get into that?
Well, there are a lot of people who are lonely in the world, and also there are a lot of people who are very short on time, and so like the free market makes a way to satisfy those people too. It's not what you think it is. It's just dating services. As a rental boyfriend, they come to our rental company and they can view profiles and stuff like this and say, I want to spend time with this person, and so they schedule a date with me and they pay for me to be a rental boyfriend, just to theoretically just to have someone to be less lonely with, or to like hang out with, or like if you want to go to a movie but you don't want to go by yourself, rental boyfriend's a great option for those of you, none of you who want boyfriends. I don't know, maybe one of you wants a boyfriend. And so yeah, that's how that works. I fill a need.
So I'm gonna go a different direction. I know everyone's mind probably immediately went to certain aspects when someone
Right.
says rental any kind of relationship. What are the extents, not in that one direction, but in the opposite? Like, because there are many different facets to a relationship. Would you help them with, say, doing their taxes, taking care of
Um.
their homes? You know, what's the
Well, yeah.
limit?
I mean, if you rent somebody, I mean, yeah, I'll do whatever. Most people, most of the ladies are very gracious and just want somebody to kind of like have fun with, and so like non-fun things aren't normally included. Um, but yeah, I've done certain things like help clean. Some women want a boyfriend who would do the cooking and cleaning, and that's part of it for sure. Also, a really big one is going to weddings and showing up at family functions to meet the parents. There are people, yeah, I know it's kind of like emotionally strange and like whatever, but like, yeah, there are people who present me as their actual long term boyfriend to their parents. And that's one of those, it takes a little bit of time before they get charged extra because you have to do your work to keep the same backstory. So yeah, there's definitely some I don't know, some work in there, some slogging work, both emotionally on the that other spectrum and physically, you know, even as in so much as like cutting a yard. So
Do they get to
So,
pick your personality? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, please.
no, no, they don't really get to pick my personality. I mean, they pick a profile. It's got a picture and a blurb about me, but I'm not putting on any fake personalities. I mean, there are things that I'll do if they ask me to, like, oh, you need to be this religion, just tell them this, and you need to know these things. I could do that, but I'm not really trying to alter my personality, as it were.
So is this like the biggest millennial thing possible? Like lying to your parents about having a significant other?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
pretty millennial, right up there, along with renting a cuddle buddy, which are services that are also provided.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
It's very much popular in places like Japan, where the dating scene is absolutely awful, and people are lonely and they don't want to put in the effort. So
Right.
Hmm.
What were you gonna say, Blaze?
how many lawsuits do you get?
I have never personally gotten a lawsuit. Um, the company I work for, which shall remain unnamed in this situation, has gotten a lawsuit in the past, and it mostly evolves around the public. I, I would say it relates mostly to like slander type things, like things were said that the client didn't want to be said that painted them in a light, mistakenly painted them in a light that wasn't true, and so that ended up being a lawsuit. Otherwise, I think it's pretty. Most of the clients are pretty happy with the product they receive.
All right. Well, that's your five
Now,
minutes. Um, you can go ahead and finish your
Disappointment.
question, Seth.
okay, I was just gonna ask. I mean, we said this was a typical millennial thing, but what is the actual age range you usually work with? What's the most common one?
Believe it or not, it's college students.
Hmm.
College students and early 30s in that age range is the most typical age range to work with, just because time is an issue and that kind of thing. And also, like, that's where the most single people are. So, yeah.
Oh my
I'm
Okay.
God.
honestly shocked.
Well, he pretty much nailed that on the head, and I'm a little concerned that he may have done some prior research. But also, I'm gonna end up with some seriously disturbing ads after this little internet search, because oh boy. Uh, yeah, the idea started in Japan. It's known as rentaru karashi. Yeah, basically just that what Fuzz said. It's you can rent someone to go on outings with you, to go on company dinners, to meet your parents. basically anything you need if you are, I guess, incapable of finding a person to do that with you, or if your personality is just that awful.
Alright, so
Now,
you and me, Ryan.
yeah, so us. I'm sure there are rental girlfriends, like there are maid cafes over there, so it's probably a thing, but I didn't look that up.
Yeah, so you know how they have like these YouTube channels that are supposed to be like, oh, this YouTube channel does everything about Korea or does everything about Japan, and they do
Mhm.
on the street interviews and talk to like, what would you think about dating a foreign guy type deal.
Yeah.
Well, one of those such things in this like BuzzFeed style foreign video was rental girlfriends. I watched a video of that, and that's how I know.
So he did do prior
he
research.
did do prior research. Also, if you just Google rental girlfriend, that's an anime that I didn't know existed. So, but just a quick, so you understand my suffering. I did do there was a site I went to. I'm not going to name the site, but I went there just to see because I was curious if the Americas had adopted this yet, and oh boy, have we. And dude, if you can get into this, some of these dudes are charging like $250 an hour to be rental boyfriends.
Ryan, you forget
Like,
that we
oh no, he cut out there.
active enough to charge that much.
I wasn't saying that we would do that. I'm just saying that I'm just looking at that, and all of these dudes are like super toned, and most of them are like super hot, like by dude standards, are like super good looking. But man, honestly, if you can mine to see a bunch of just like oiled up shirtless dudes, some of these titles are just gold. Here's Xavier,
Well-
the Wolf of Wall Street. Justin, the Bow Hunter. Josh, the Fixer. Bodhi, the Runaway Model. Like, these are just awful. Some of these titles are just awful. But man,
Straight out of a rom-com.
basically, oh, this dude has a sword. What? Dion, the manga superhero. How much is Dion? I gotta know. I have to click on this.
So,
Anyway.
question is, could you extend it? Does it have to be romantic, or could you do it as like a rent-a-friend thing?
I'm
Yeah,
sure
you
there's
could.
the more
Oh,
yeah.
he's $250 an hour. I think the
They
idea
probably
is,
don't care.
well, on this website, there's a tab called Rent to Own. So you can be, I guess you can be set up with a you can pay a matchmaker to set you up with a gent at the gentleman, and then I guess you have a trial period, a dating period. I don't know. I'm really too scared to dive into that one. But this was way
Yeah.
more taxing of a topic on me than I think it was for anybody else. So good luck, Blaze. Hope yours is worse.
Well, at least my dreams aren't going to be haunted tonight.
That's true.
Facts. All right, so Blaze, you are an expert on petardiers. So that's petardier.
Petardier?
I put it in the podcast research. Petardiers.
Okay, so that's a one word, not two separate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know.
So,
Okay.
so Blaze, what is this?
So it originates from the phrase petard, and it's oh well, in the past I used to be a petard, and as a group we're referred to as petardiers, and
That is not what I thought you were going to say.
it's basically it's just
Oh.
it's hard to come out and say it, but
You can be subtle. It's fine. Is it too offensive, or is it too traumatizing to talk about?
no, we're basically just a Patrick Stewart fan club.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, the name Picardiers was taken, so we had to go with Petardiers.
So you just went with something that sounded kind of like it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So, have you ever been accused of being a bunch of petards?
Someone was gonna
Yes,
say
it happens all the time, but we take it with pride.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, okay. How have you managed to
So-
turn this into like a job? You know, like a profession.
Oh, we through the magic of the internet, right?
Of course,
Um,
of course.
see, people will pay obscene amounts of money for strange things on the internet. There's all kinds of weird fan fictions and other Star Trek paraphernalia that goes on the darker sides of the internet.
It's true.
So,
Go
so what is it you like so much about him?
Um, well, as you probably noticed, he's immortal,
Hmm. I had thoughts.
and there's some people think it's the Earl Grey, but we we kind of we've been doing our own independent research. I can't give any specifics, but it's an admirable quality.
Is it like 18 plus? Because I mean, we could talk about it a little bit, and we'll just put a warning on there. But
Well, it involves sacrifices, so
Oh.
I don't know how much I can say.
yeah, YouTube isn't gonna like that. Maybe we won't say it. Well, if
Yes,
it's
sir.
animal sacrifice, we could probably get away with it as like a religious practice.
There's also strange butt stuff.
Okay, maybe maybe we won't talk about it. That is a pretty intense turnoff there, man.
You know, I think I've asked all the questions I want to ask about this profession.
You know, I oh man, I think I have more questions that I can't ask. Like why? Like why? Why would you do this to yourselves? So obviously you're not
Why
a Kirk.
not?
You're not a Kirk man, huh? I got you.
No,
No,
Picard's
okay.
better.
Okay, obviously.
It's the shiny bald head.
Is he like a husbando?
Husbando,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah.
To about half of the fan club. The other half is more so just they like the personality of the leadership and
I
all the
see.
leadership qualities.
Not it's not sexual. It's merely just admiration, huh?
Yeah.
Except for the butt stuff. Okay.
Except for
Um,
except for that, which
So, have you ever met him in person?
Yes.
has he blocked you on Twitter?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Is that a goal?
Yes.
Doesn't he have a new show or something coming out, or is that already out? Picard. Is that on Disney Plus? Is that a thing? Am I making that up?
Yes.
I don't think I'm making that up.
Yes. There's a thing. It's it's widely reviewed as not actually canon.
Oh, it's not canon. Okay.
Most people hate it.
Well, I hate this. I really do. So we're gonna cut this off at like 2 seconds early, cause oh boy, do I want out.
You're welcome.
That was worse.
Well-
You made it worse.
You're not even slightly close. So this was something in the medieval times. They basically were the guys that carried the bombs to the wall to blow holes in the castle so that they could get into the castle.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It was basically they were suicide bombers because most petardiers didn't make it past their first attempt because
like that
of
orc
fuse
from Lord of the
issues
Rings.
and yeah. It basically, yeah, that's kind of what got me thinking about this was that orc. I was like, I wonder if there was ever a job like that. And there was.
Hmm.
They did have shiny helmets that weigh 27 pounds.
Holy hell.
So it was thick iron so that the bullets wouldn't go through. And they had no armor on their legs so they could try to run away. It just wasn't very effective.
You get shot in the back.
Mm-hmm. Well, they had thick armor on their chest too, just none on their legs. But yeah, so the more you know. I really thought you were gonna go a different way with that, Blaze.
I don't know where to go with that word.
I thought maybe you were like playing too much Age of Empires and you saw that. So I didn't think about it until you said petard. I was like, oh wait, like the dude, like the unit from Age of Empires.
Exactly like that unit.
Yeah, and then
It's a French. Oh, it's also originated in French. The French were the ones who came up with it. So it was 100-pound petard, is what they. It was just full of gunpowder, and they put it against iron. So they had an iron thing they carried it on, and then they put it up against the wall, and it blew the iron back into the stone to blow it up.
I just thought some really bad thoughts. Okay, well, thanks for that one, Zach. That was interesting. I didn't know that. Like I did, but I didn't know it originated in France. That's cool.
So
But,
yeah.
in not blowing yourself up news, I suppose we had the Superb Owl last week. And
Good
that
old
was-
Superb Owls.
That was a thing.
Good old, speaking of people who are ageless, Tom Brady. Just like Petard himself, the invincible.
Good old Captain Petard, the Invincible. I guess it's really all we have to talk about that. I mean, everybody knows at this
Dumb, but
point
yeah.
that was a thing. I don't know if anybody is happy that Brady won another trophy, but I don't know if any of us.
I
are
was
actually
happy he did it
surprised.
without Belichick, but I didn't
Yeah.
really want him to win another one. If I'm being
Well-
honest. Like, I was happy he showed that Belichick, like, was kind of dependent on him because they were terrible this year without Brady.
Yeah, that was my thing too. It's like, Brady, as much as it's nice to hate him, he actually just is really good, and he just proved it, like 100%.
He took a team that didn't make the playoffs last year and won the Super Bowl.
Right, and
Yeah.
then his team didn't make the playoffs that he was in. So
Yeah.
Well, his team also like helped carry him because the Chiefs' defense was just awful, not defense.
I think it was more
Their offensive
the
line.
Chiefs' offensive line
Yeah,
was terrible.
Their offensive line was terrible. That's what I meant to say.
Mahomes was making some of the most ridiculous throws I've ever seen in my life, but it didn't matter.
I'm knowledgeable about the sports ball. But so that was a thing. In political news, they're still trying to impeach the former president. We don't have a result. We'll see how that goes. They decided that they can impeach a non-sitting president. So
They did. I think they decided that it was either yesterday or the day before.
that's the
So,
thing.
The senators voted on it and they said it. I think it was a 51 to 49 vote.
I think
and,
that's a scary thought to think that that you could be impeached as a non-position holding citizen.
Yeah,
Just a
private
person.
citizen. But
So whatever. It's
we're not really a political place, so on
Yeah,
to the next
I
stuff.
don't really know what to do with that. But oh yeah, what's her name was kicked off of Disney, but everybody knows about that now too.
Oh yeah. The Star
Gina-
Wars
Gina something.
Mandalorian character,
Thick
Yeah.
mommy.
the thick Republic soldier.
Yes. Apparently
And
due to
People
stuff.
are very
I've-
upset.
Some tweets.
Yes.
Some current and some past tweets. Tesla had a recall in Germany from a piece of roofing. They call it cosmetic roofing. That was not sealed properly. So it was a front and spine cosmetic roof trim. I guess it's been falling off or flying off or something. I don't know how it's getting displaced, but apparently it wasn't sealed properly. So a bunch of Teslas are getting recalled.
Do we
That's
know for what model?
The Model X.
Ah.
Model
The
X.
most expensive one. Excellent.
Yeah, which obviously isn't going to bother Elon any because Elon is currently the richest man in the world. And I don't know. I like Elon. I want to like Elon. I want to continue to like Elon, but
It's crazy. He has so much power. He can literally say the name of a company and that stock price soars. It's ridiculous.
well, that's what he's done with Bitcoin like twice now. Bitcoin and Dogecoin. Like he was the reason that Dogecoin is now over $1.
Is it over $1 now?
I think it's over $1 per coin now.
I'm not. What is Dogecoin? Is it basically just like Bitcoin?
It's Bitcoin,
Yes, it's
but
a
it has
meme.
pictures of Doges on it.
It's a meme currency. That's just all it is. I don't think it's even based on Ethereum. I don't know what it's based on, if anything at all. Its value is the value of memes, I guess. But yeah, Elon has been driving the stocks and the prices of cryptocurrency and other companies for quite a while now. But I don't know, when anybody gets that much power, becomes that wealthy, you start to
Does
have to
this
like.
mean, or is this why the media has been turning popular memes as symbols of hate speech?
To keep the Dogecoin value down. I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
Rip Pepe, dude.
Rip
It
Pepe.
Pepe hands.
so Bitcoin is basically a way to like transfer encrypted information. Is Dogecoin a way to transmit like encrypted meme?
Yes. I have no idea.
We
I
gotta
don't.
smuggle
monetary
info brothers in
value.
Europe.
I don't know anything about Dogecoin other than its value has just gone over $1 because Elon.
Good old Elon.
Dude, fingers
How long
crossed
ago
he
Steve
still
was?
gives us cat girls. So that's what I'm holding out. I'm holding out for the cat girls.
Genetically
Yeah,
engineered Tesla cat girl.
Genetically engineered Tesla cat girls.
He did give
Some
us
standard.
flamethrowers, so I mean, you
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah, like, and he's sending stuff to space all the
For
time
fun.
for
Say
basically
grow to
for fun.
space.
Well, I think he did another interview with Joe Rogan recently. I've seen clips. I haven't seen the whole thing. I've been meaning to go watch it, but I mean, he really does want to take us to Mars. So I'm excited that there's actually somebody on the planet who's excited about like reaching out, even though we should probably try and save what we have here, but we're not doing a very good job of that right now. So
Well, at one hand, you could look at it though, is we are grossly overpopulated in a lot of areas. So at least moving some of the population might help better control so we can clean up. And I know that
We-
people say
we need to
it looks
spread
like
them
we're just
out.
abandoning ship.
Yeah, we need to
Yeah.
spread them out. Is what we're doing. We've got them concentrated in these cities, and we've got huge portions of like the United States, especially the middle of America. That's just there's just nothing. It's just like farmland or like corn. People could be there, but no one wants to be there because no one wants to farm. So it's like, okay, well, we're not doing a very good job of like being nice to each other, much less the planet. So
No.
I don't know. I just think that colonizing other planets can only help us grow in terms of what we know. If nothing else, it gives us a broader knowledge of the universe, which will help us understand where our place is. But, that's maybe in our lifetime.
I know it's probably not going to be, but I would love for it to be. I just want to go to space.
Well, I know Tesla is working. Who is it? Virgin was offering space flights. There's another company that was offering space flights. I can't remember who it is. Boeing, maybe? I don't know.
It would be nice, but I don't want to pay for that.
Yeah.
How much is that? Because I know it's way too much.
Expensive.
Granted, though, that's one of those
You had
things
all
that
the money.
Well,
I definitely understand because they're having to launch you in a rocket. Like that is not it's not like a couple $100 expense.
$250,000.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
I think Elon was also talking about trying to get, like commercial space travel going to, where you could just send people into space so they could see it and then they come back.
I heard that, and I heard apparently there were quite a few prominent members in the field that were against that.
Yeah, well, it's not always safe, and you've got to watch how much fuel you use when you're shooting rockets into space all the time.
And yeah, let's not say in principle we were just talking about taking care of our own planet. We're talking about consuming large amounts
Huge,
of fuel
tons
just
and
for
tons.
yeah.
Well, to be fair though, I don't know how much that matters or how much people care, because I don't know if you guys know this, but airplane fuel is counted in tons. And if you were to like calculate how much jet fuel we use on a daily basis, just on like on a full 24-hour cycle, it's got to be just astronomical. So that's
So we've been making
uh,
strides with like other vehicles going electric. I can't even imagine how much it'd take for something the size of a plane to switch over to electric.
and not a single floating skateboard yet, not a one.
Back to the Future promised
know
us
what?
those so long ago,
Was
and
it
we
like
still don't
Future?
have.
20 to 2000, 2001, somewhere around there?
Also,
And, 20 years later, still not a single floating skateboard. Not a single one.
we also don't have the fashion, and I think that's the
You-
most
You know what we do have,
insulting.
though? Another Witcher game being announced.
Do we now? I thought they were done with that.
The Old World.
Haven't seen anything. Please enlighten.
I will link you the article. I haven't watched the trailer yet because I want to experience it later. But
Right,
that was
ready to not
announced.
see you for 2 years.
Yeah, right. Another Witcher game would be fun, considering the last. When was the Witcher 3 released?
It's a board game.
Is it a board game?
It is a board
I
game.
guess I should have watched the trailer. Copyright music right there. It was like a second and a half. I'll just let the trailer run.
So
Is this really
it's
a
a
board
board game.
Oh, it's a board game. I'm so sad.
It is a board game.
Never mind. Is the
Not
Ratchet and
as
Clank game a
Coolio.
board game too? Do I need to watch this video?
No,
You
not a board
might.
game.
That we know of could be.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Is that new or is that I'm not super up to date with my
It
Ratchet
is.
and Clank.
It is a new Ratchet and Clank, and they did just announce the launch date for it.
June
I
11th?
believe it's June. Yeah, June 11th. So
Yeah.
We have a launch date
PS5.
for Horizon Zero Dawn.
Do we?
Horizon Forbidden West.
Forbidden West, yes.
No, we don't.
Blaze-
Not yet.
Blaze, you were just talking about Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
Here's your answer. June 11th.
I do like how we segued away from Elon going to
Nice.
space to Ratchet and Clank.
Well, I don't want to talk about
They
that
both
forever.
they both go to space. So
Exactly.
logical.
Perfect segue.
Super awesome segue. But yeah, Horizon 2's rumored for 2021.
It is rumored for this year, and it
We'll
is
see.
almost guaranteed this year. They're saying it's probably going to be a fall game.
We'll see. I
But
don't-
there's bigger rumors that the new God of War is also coming out this year,
Yeah, I read that.
and I just don't think they released both of those games near each other.
No.
But Sony has done crazier stuff before. They did Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us 2 like
Like right back to back.
2 weeks apart from each other, which was kind of crazy.
Yeah,
But you have to wonder if that was because of the Game Awards coming up.
maybe.
But those were released in like June, and the Game Awards wasn't till December.
Yeah, but they still needed time for it to spread to enough people.
I guess.
I guess.
I don't know. Kingdom Hearts is coming to PC. The Epic Store.
Yep.
That's,
Good old Epic Store and their exclusives.
Epic
Yeah.
Store has, I feel like, been trying to take it up a notch. They've been
So-
hard trying to compete with Steam.
I was gonna say, is Fortnite not keeping up anymore?
I don't know. I haven't played that game in a long time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Forgot that was an Epic game.
It is right. Did I just
It's
did I
the-
misspeak? I thought it was Epic.
Is that the only Epic game? Technically?
No. There were Epic Games has been around, I thought, for a while.
Epic's
Am I
been
wrong?
around for a long time, but I
Wait, are they the Gears of War people?
no,
Chad Blazinski? Didn't he do Epic Games?
Hold up.
Maybe I'm crazy.
maybe I don't know. Someone Google it.
Hold up.
I did want to ask Zach real quick. I know you can't talk about it because you signed an NDA, but when I heard you playing Magic Legends last night, you didn't sound super impressed.
I can neither confirm nor deny anything.
You can't even give us your opinion so far of whether you had fun.
When I read the NDA, I am not allowed to say anything about it. So
Okay, so he can neither confirm nor deny that he is in the beta for Magic Legends and whether or not it's any good. That's unfortunate. Definitely not with video evidence. But
there was definitely no video evidence.
well, there's video
Did not
evidence.
record anything.
There's video evidence now. I'm just salty that I didn't get in. That's the only problem. We
So
signed
we
up
are
at
correct.
we signed up at the same time, and I did not get in. I'm sad.
I have the more luck than you.
That does. Gears of War is an Epic Games. Unreal Tournament is Epic Games. FIFA.
FIFA's
No, not
Epic
FIFA.
Games. It's like-
Everything uses Unreal,
That's like
Unreal Engine basically, but that doesn't
Yeah.
make it an Epic game. FIFA is that's an EA
Not,
Sports game.
not FIFA. No, I misspoke. A bunch of games here that I haven't heard of before.
That's not hard.
Everybody starts somewhere. They're
Infinity
usually really
Blade.
crappy old games. Oh yeah, that was a fun phone game back in the day. I remember that one.
Yeah, Fortnite is
Happy Bird? What?
one of the more recent
No,
ones.
Infinity Blade.
Oh yeah, I didn't know they did Infinity Blade.
Yep,
Interesting.
Paragon that they canceled.
Oh yeah, that game
Yeah.
had hope, but oh well.
No more.
So some other video game news. Ubisoft today announced that they aren't done with the Division 2 and that they will continue to update the game throughout the rest of the year, even though they earlier said that End of Watch was the end of Watch. So I guess they decided they wanted to make more money,
Of course.
which is smart.
I mean, isn't that how these things go?
It is a games as a service game technically. So I mean, it's supposed to live on for as long as possible.
What?
Speaking of games living as long as possible, Halo 3 is getting a new map on the Master Chief Collection. They're adding a brand new map to Halo 3. So I know we all used to be pretty hot and heavy in Halo 3. Like that was kind of our game for the longest time. And so that's kind of crazy that they're putting new maps out for a game we haven't played since 2008, 7, 9, somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there. Yeah.
Halo
A
3
long
was released in 2007.
Yeah, see, I was close. I knew it was that area.
Yeah, somewhere in
Only
there.
reason, because it was released the same year as like Modern Warfare 1, I'm pretty sure. So, the original, not the terrible one they released recently.
Man. Blaze, did you have something you wanted to talk about?
The Borderlands movie stuff.
Yes. Yes. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about that?
All right, so Jack Black is going to be Claptrap, and Jamie Lee Curtis is going to be Dr. Tannis.
They've
I'm not sure how they're going to do that, but we'll have to see.
they've already announced a couple other characters as well, and
Have they?
they're also just as questionable signings in my mind as those two. Kevin Hart has signed on to be Roland.
He's Roland?
And yep. And Kate Blanchett has signed as Lilith. So
I don't think I'm sure I know her from something, but the name doesn't spark a face.
I can't think of anything else she's in right now, not off the top of my head. And they've
Blanchett.
signed, or the screenplay writer was Craig Mazin, who did
Wait.
Chernobyl.
Wait, this is Lilith?
Yeah. Kate Blanchett.
She's like.
So
And-
they are definitely going with a much older casting than I would have thought they would. Not to
Well,
mention,
same with Jamie Lee Curtis as Tannis. Tannis is like, I think
Yeah.
we were talking about this the other day. She's like 25
I
or
thought.
26
but they
in the
can.
game.
This can make sense depending on what direction
say,
they're going with
yeah.
the story. If this is like a much further in the future, I
But
can see that.
half of the cast
Hold on,
is
hold on,
dead
hold on, hold on.
already.
Spoiling alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Yeah, okay. Half the cast is dead. Yeah. Like, come on, dude. Roland's
more
been dead
so-
since 2.
Yeah.
So like the Tannis thing, I can get behind. I like the actress. I can kind of see if they're going for an older version of her.
Oh my gosh,
The-
she's in here as Lilith already.
The
Kevin Hart is Roland. I don't know if
yeah,
I can get
that
behind.
I was really hoping he was going to be one of the psychos. I knew he was going to be in the movie. I was
Yeah,
just hoping he was going to be a psycho.
I thought he would be a
If-
midget.
If they
Ninja
made,
Psycho. I was
yeah,
really
if they
hoping
put
for it.
they put him next to the Rock and the
Little
Rock is
person
one of the
psycho?
the badass psychos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Him as Roland does not make sense. He can
Roland is like a big old turret wielding.
He's
dude.
an ex-soldier. He was a serious one that had like a bit of a.
Yeah, he wasn't a
Humor.
humorous person,
Plus
really.
He
he's
doesn't
been-
fit Kevin Hart's his MO, like what Kevin Hart really does well in as a comedian. And yeah, the obvious thing in the room, Kevin Hart is a lot shorter than Roland.
I mean, he
guess.
better be hitting the gym. Like,
Yeah, he gonna have to get strong.
Wait, she was Hela.
Yeah. Oh
Thor
yeah, that's who
Ragnarok?
Kate Blanchett is. I was trying to think of.
She
Stuff
was.
she's
No,
been
she
in.
totally was.
Kate
Okay.
Blanchett, I think, is probably a good actress. Like,
No,
She
she's-
is a
let's
really
see
good
her.
actress. She's excellent.
I'm not doubting
But-
her acting skills. I'm more doubting
The casting choices.
the casting choices.
No,
Yeah, because this is a much older cast. Because Kate Blanchett's 51, Kevin Hart's in his 40s.
But I could see what they're doing if they're not doing like a
This is-
current story,
this
but
has gotta
maybe
be an
doing
AU.
kind of like the Tales of Borderlands,
Yeah.
where they bridge the gap and they're
Except
going
these
for a
are
further canon.
It's gotta
these
be.
are all original Borderlands 1 characters.
It's gotta
That's
be.
Well,
true.
except Tannis. Tannis
That
is
is
2,
true.
isn't she?
Wait, do we have Brick yet?
No.
No, it's gonna.
I
It's
would think
gonna
the
be.
mountain could be Brick.
Dude, it's
It's
almost.
gonna be what's his name
It's
from
gonna be The Rock. It's gonna be The Rock, 100%.
either The Rock or it's gonna be what's the dude's name from Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh, I could see him as
Josh
Brick.
Brolin.
Yeah. No, not Brolin. The Drax.
Oh.
Drax the
Drax,
Slayer.
yeah.
Oh,
He would be a good Brick.
But Batista.
Yeah, Batista.
Yeah, Batista, that's his name. Yeah.
That would be interesting. I don't think he's tall enough to be Brick either. Brick's supposed to be like 7 feet tall.
Yeah, but they
Well,
could
then there's
probably-
literally the Mountain. They could have the Mountain be from Game of Thrones.
That's what Seth was saying, but I don't think he's like.
He's legitimately like 6'8", 6'9", and
Yeah,
he's built like a truck, kind of like Brick. So I mean,
I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I'm not a huge fan of some of this casting just because like it doesn't fit with the games. But if they're going for their own story, they could get literally anybody to do it. So
yeah, I mean, I guess.
I at least
Speaking of
think that the
questionable
talent here could be able to pull something off. Visually,
could
do
be
they
good.
match? No.
it'll,
But
it'll be like that. It's a good movie, but it's not a good Borderlands movie. Somewhere in there, probably.
It'll probably be a pretty normal video game movie. Doesn't
It'll-
hold up to the games at
it'll-
all.
With Ghost,
it'll probably be better than the Monster Hunter movie.
I hear that was terrible. Haven't seen it though.
I can only hope.
So here's my question.
Okay.
Or here's my challenge. Name a good video game movie.
Mortal Kombat 1.
Oh shoot, that was easy. Video game? Yeah, the last Pokemon. The Pokemon movie. That was good.
Pokemon 2000.
Pokemon.
Still pulls at my heartstrings.
The first Resident Evil movie.
Oh, that one was crazy. When they enter that room and the lasers start chopping everybody up, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
But just
that's what I was-
just the first one.
Yeah, all other ones are terrible.
Yeah, the
I can't really
World
think
of
of
Warcraft movie was okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed the
The
World
new-
of Warcraft movie.
show-wise. The Witcher show is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard though.
Let me-
More times than not, video game movies are terrible. Like that is a stigma in the world that's real. Like
And yeah. But they're
I've been
Oh,
let down far
the
more
Mario
than
Brothers
I'm
movie.
surprised.
that was terrible.
yeah.
That's a terrible movie.
No, it
Hey,
was so
plus-
good.
That was a cheesy childhood movie that I remember fondly.
Okay, no,
Um,
but no cap. The original Ninja Turtles movie. I have very fond memories of that movie. I wouldn't say it was a good movie or like a great movie, but I
Okay,
really
okay.
enjoyed it.
But was it really a game movie?
I mean,
'Cause
it was.
which came first?
it was a
Ninja
fighter
Turtles
game.
the video game
It was a
or
fighter
Ninja
game
Turtles
first.
the show?
That
Was
a
it? I thought
side-scroller.
Yeah,
I thought it
a
was its
side-scroller.
own thing first.
It's touted as like
Um,
one of the hardest games in arcade history.
Interesting. I thought the game came from the show. I thought the show came first, and then
No,
I'm pretty sure the show did come first.
the cartoon.
Yes,
I was talking about the movie.
I know.
well, no,
but
that's what I'm saying. But we're saying it's based on a game. To me, a video game movie has to have originally been a video game,
I
not
guess.
a video game that came from a show. Because then it's just a continuation of the show.
All right. Well, I don't know the lore on that one, so I'm not gonna.
House of
it
the
originally
Dead?
started as a comic book series
Yeah.
and then adopted to a television series, and then games came after.
Did anybody watch the Sonic the Hedgehog movie? Did any of you guys watch
I
it?
hear it's good. I haven't seen it though.
I've heard it was good and that we should support it, but that was during
COVID.
I did not have. Yeah, that was during COVID. So I was like, well,
I forgot about Doom.
was
I
was
enjoyed-
Rampage any
I
good?
enjoyed Doom.
No, not really.
There's
The
a
Rock was
Far-
in it, and that's really all
There's
that
a
there was.
Far Cry movie.
Maybe.
I didn't know there was a Far Cry. Movie.
So speaking of movies, still we have the casting for a couple characters for the new HBO show, The Last of Us, and it has been met with a lot of derision on the internet So Pedro Pascal, who is famous from The Mandalorian and most recently the newest Wonder Woman movie, he was the villain in that. He will be Joel, and then Bella Ramsey, who is Lyanna Mormont from Game of Thrones, is going to be Ellie. So kind of not a big fan of that. I mean, this is probably one of my favorite gaming series ever, so I was hoping they would really nail this, and it may still be good, but to me it just doesn't line up right now.
Time will tell. Usually, though, in these coming things, fears are warranted, but we'll say there has been a lot more success or attention to these things, I would say, especially with it going in the TV show route, because a lot of these services are having to bring their A game to draw in these new people. Because right now, that it is a lot to ask to start picking up all these different streaming services because everyone wants a piece of it. And so they have to offer something worthwhile. I mean, Disney Plus had a lot of its own, Disney stuff to back it, but I would say The Mandalorian was a huge draw for a big number of people.
Don't get me wrong, Pedro Pascal is a great actor. Like he is so good in The Mandalorian, but he doesn't fit Joel really. But we'll see.
Well, it is a different role for him, but at the same time, he's kind of, in some ways, The Mandalorian is a little Joel-like in terms of being like, the stoic, gruff warrior.
I guess we will see though. Guess we will see.
Time will tell. I think it'll be kind of like the whole Borderlands thing. We got some talented actors. As long as they can come up with a good script, let the actors do their thing, we should be okay. And set design also being good.
Hmm.
So that, of course, a
Set
lot of it does
design
boil
can't
down
be
to the script.
hard. Half the game is shot in the desert.
Wait.
Oh, he's talking about Borderlands. I was gonna say Last
Oh,
of Us is
I
shot
was gonna
throughout
say wait.
dilapidated United
Oh
States.
yeah, no. If they get good
Yeah.
set design on Last of Us, we'll be okay.
Which honestly, you could argue all they have to do is go do
Wait.
some rundown buildings and they're good.
I was reading this list. Is it a TV show or a movie?
Last of Us is a TV show
Ooh, you think they're
on
gonna give us?
HBO.
You think they're gonna give us the janky the janky Marvel CGI for the clickers?
No, I don't think so because it's HBO. HBO really puts loads of money into their production.
I'm not saying
I
Marvel
mean,
doesn't. I'm saying Marvel rushes their stuff. They
oh
rush
yeah,
they rush some of the
but
CGI so it doesn't look as good. Because like unless they do it practically, like with really good makeup, like the clickers are a big part of it. They're gonna have to make that look really good.
yeah, the clickers better be good or it won't be watchable.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I would imagine that they would do realistic makeup because that seems like it'd be the most straightforward, right?
Yeah.
Just do some cosmetic
I
stuff.
forgot about Detective Pikachu.
You can do some really
Yeah.
terrifying stuff with just the practical visual effects.
Hmm.
The clickers are just begging for the practical special effects. Like, there's not too much that make it wild, like about their anatomy and stuff. Like, they're just normal zombies, but with the fungus aspect.
Wait. This has
Okay.
got to be not right. According to Wikipedia, now keep in mind this is Wikipedia, there is a Minecraft movie scheduled for release on June 24, 2022 by Warner Brothers.
Live action
I don't
or
know. It's just a list on Wikipedia. It just says upcoming. It says to be announced. Release date June 24th, 2022. That's got to be wrong. There's no way. There's no way they have a release date already and there's no information about it.
I'll watch it if Dwayne the Rock Johnson is the main character.
If he's Steve.
Yeah.
That would be so funny. A blocky Steve or blocky Dwayne.
God, it's so cursed. Just in my head,
I'm ready
it's just
for-
cursed. Well, like
Pretty
okay.
sure there's already a mod for that.
Well, how do you make a Minecraft movie that
You know what?
with
It's
with
probably
with real
gonna be
people.
like the Emoji Movie.
Well, dude, there's so many. There's
It'd
so
probably be
many
animated.
good animated, like movies or music videos in the Minecraft community already. Like, I don't know.
Time will tell. I mean,
You know,
we'll
you're
let
probably
the
right. It
nature
probably will be
studio.
like the Emoji Movie, and it's going to be geared towards like people Gavin's age. It's like a kid's show.
That's
Uh,
that's my thing is like with all of the resources out there with video games and stuff, like why don't they just make the movie not live action? Like there are so many live action movies that just shouldn't be live action movies.
I I agree with you, Fuzz, and I think the reason there is simple. It's because they want to try to appeal to the widest audience, even though the ones that they ultimately rely on to come and give the initial sales are the video game
Yeah,
fans.
but
But that's
I mean
why. Go ahead.
that doesn't make sense because Disney and Pixar make great money and they don't do live action.
It's true.
True, but we're going with usually recognizable stuff. By this point, Disney's got a name brand behind them, and they have a lot of history. Like people grew up with this. A lot of people, even though they might have grown up with this game, they haven't grown up with this production.
Well, you're talking about
It's
with
not a universal
Universal?
thing. No, not like the brand itself. I meant more so like the actual thing. Like, let's just say, for
This is Warner
example,
Brothers, so
like Resident Evil's a good one. Not everyone grew up playing the Resident Evil games for obvious reasons, but a
you
lot
don't.
of people can relate to a zombie movie.
But they're not.
Granted, Resident Evil did work well as a live action. Go ahead, Ryan.
I was just gonna say it's not. If you make a movie based on a game, you're pandering towards the people who play the game. You're not. You're not pandering it for everybody else. Minecraft is easy because everybody in the world knows what Minecraft is, and you can make that a kids movie, and you could get parents who enjoy Minecraft who might see it just because they're unsure and take their kids to see it. You're not going to take your kids to see a Resident Evil game because you played Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But that's why they had to go the other route because the smart thing we would say as fans is you should make it cater to the fans, but they don't because there's too much risk in that.
But
You have to have a large enough fan base. So what they do is they slap the name on there, which gets us, right?
but
It gets the people that know what it
Let
is
him let him talk. Let him talk.
invested, and then
Let
I
Fuzz talk. There you go.
I understand what you're saying. Like I get all of that, but like I think the other thing is that like Resident Evil didn't have the graphics to support a good video or good movie with graphics, pre-rendered graphics. However, if you want to take something like the Halo franchise or anything like that, maybe even Skyrim, although I probably wouldn't want to watch that. Or um, like a Square Enix game. Like there are games out there that the studios who were making the games could make a movie and make a lot of money. Like
No.
because the graphics are good enough.
now
Oh, like
I don't know if
like
you
an animated
remember
movie, yeah.
Yeah.
that you brought up the Halo one. They did make a good live action YouTube series. 343 did, as I think a promotion for Halo 4.
Wasn't
That
there a
was the game
Halo
studio.
animated movie as well?
There was an anime. There's an animation.
Halo
Before-
Infinite, not Infinite, but
Yeah, right before was it? I think it was right before Infinite was released. There was a
It was incredible too. It was really good.
yeah. It's a short series.
Speaking of animation, I have a separate related question.
Okay.
Has SpongeBob anime come out with any more episodes?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
I haven't been
Okay.
I haven't been keeping up though.
I feel like no
Yeah.
one there saw his bait.
You were
Probably
talking about
No.
soon.
Square Enix earlier, and they did come out with a movie before. It was for Final Fantasy 15.
Hmm.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
was it?
yeah.
Oh,
Advent
yeah, that's right.
Children.
You did.
Yeah, that's good.
No. He's talking about the Adventure was good, but he's talking about the other one that I think, Blaze, you were the one that told me that wasn't very good, but it gave like
Uh,
a lot of story elements to the game.
I recommended watching it after you beat the game.
Was it a lot better then?
But
Yes.
you understood it. You understood the movie if you beat the game first.
Yeah.
They released
'Cause
it before the game, but it was definitely like in the future after.
Yeah.
Or
No,
no,
it was a prequel.
big prequel. That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently the Minecraft movie is a thing. If you go to the Mojang website,
Does this mean we'll
it's
get a
a
Minecraft
thing.
2 after the movie?
It's being written by Allison Schroeder and Peter Soliet. Soliet. It was originally slated to be released on March 4th, 2022, but they're pushing it back because of the Panny D, which is not
Good old
surprising.
Penny D.
Yeah, it's not surprising. What else has she worked on? Oh, she worked on Pineapple Express, production assistant.
Ew.
Smallville. Seth versus the Apocalypse. Christopher Robin, co-writer on that. Mean Girls 2, writer. Frozen 2,
Christopher Robin was pretty
screenplay material. Okay. I like all of that. A lot of comedies. Let's see what this dude's accolades are. Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. Okay. Television. He's done a lot of stuff for television. Ben and Kate.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me.
Nice.
On Borderlands, they finally announced who the screenplay writer was for the movie. It's Craig Mazin, who did Chernobyl and then wrote The Last of Us, the game. And then
Oh, that'll be nice.
the
First one.
producer is Avi Arad, who did the newest Spider-Man movies. He's done like all the newer Spider-Mans with Tom Holland.
Oh, okay.
So he's a really good producer. So
Yeah, I don't know about this other dude. I don't know about Peter Solet. He doesn't have any accolades that I recognize.
and they do have Randy Pitchford as an executive producer who, if you know who that is, that's Gearbox's the head of Gearbox. So
Yeah, they need to be careful with their baby. They kind of ruined it after 3. They need to be careful where the direction they take it is.
yeah, it's definitely their cash cow. So
it
they
needs
need to.
it needs to be good to not lose fans. Anyway, that's interesting. I learned something today. I learned several things, some of which I really didn't want to know. I thought there was gonna be a Metal Gear Solid movie because I saw that on a list, but apparently that died like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
In like 2010, they had said there was.
That's
gonna
when
be a thing, and
isn't
then-
that when Konami and Kojima kind of like
yeah, it's
broke
about
up?
the time. Yeah, it's about the time they broke up. You don't need a Metal Gear Solid movies. Those games are movies on their own.
They're beautiful, great
Yeah.
stories. I would love a remake of like the first 3, like on PS5, so that they're just beautiful.
I thought they had like a remastered edition or something recently.
No, there was talks about them.
Probably
The
wrong.
guys who did the Demon Soul remake, about them remaking the first one from the ground up. So
So, Zach, you've played the game, and have you played their other one that was kind of their claim to fame, Shadows of
yeah,
Colossus?
yeah.
From my understanding of them, they do a really good job on the visual side, but as far as actually improving on things that the predecessor lacked, it seems like they don't really have that kind of skill. The games
don't know
that,
if-
from what I understand, still are kind of clunky, have the aged mechanics.
Demon Souls plays a lot better than the original one did. So I don't really know about that. Shadow of the Colossus, I didn't really play the original. It was like in that PS2 era when cared more about like college football and Mortal Kombat and stuff. Like I didn't play those kind of games back then.
It was good. It was fun. I liked it, but yeah, it was kind of clunky.
The newer one didn't feel super clunky to me. It just felt well designed. I think the biggest problem is that they're told they cannot change mechanics and stuff.
Oh,
So like
really?
they have to keep the game as close to the original as possible while updating like all the graphics and stuff.
I didn't know that.
There is rumors that Sony is about to straight out buy Blue Point Studios. And if they do that, I hope they let them do their own game because they've shown they are super talented and can basically remake anything So let's let them have their own game. Like I'd love to see what they think of, what like their visionary minds do. So
We'll see. My only closing statements are going to be Elden Ring win from software. Elden Ring win. Elden Ring,
never,
please.
we're never getting news on that.
No, actually, we're supposed to be
It'll
getting news
just
soon.
come out.
No, we're supposed to be getting news
They-
soon.
They
Like,
said that
we've got
last year
news a while
too.
ago.
They said that the year before too. They've been saying we're getting news since they announced the game. They said look forward to next year, and then nothing ever came out.
Yeah, let me hope.
You get no hope.
Let me hope. Don't shut, me,
Background will be quick.
I spit on your hope.
don't shut me down like that, man. All right, well, we're going on just over an hour here, so I know Fuzz, his girlfriend, is here waiting for him, and Blaze.
Hello, Fuzz's girlfriend.
Well, she's not in the call or anything, but I hear her moving around.
could be.
I hear her moving around the kitchen because our walls are incredibly thin, and I'm sure Fuzz wants to go get something to eat as well. So,
The hunger is real.
yep.
Hunger's real.
But thanks for sitting in and listening to us talk about gaming stuff and space and other stuff. Feel free to give us a like or subscribe to the channel. It'd be great as we try and grow and also not get canceled by YouTube. So that's a thing. But yeah, we record every Friday. I try to have them up either Friday night, early Saturday morning, depending on how long the episode is, or whether or not my computer is cooperating because